Hey team, welcome back to our simple little island where we like taking things slow in Animal Crossing and just having a chat, playing the game. It's 3:00 something in the morning on the island, but not really in real life. It's actually mid-morning on Sunday. I've been a bit lazy getting up, but there's a few things that I wanted to do on the island before all the Sunday activities kick off, so I thought we'd stop in and just have a clear up of this front area of the island. I've been having a fiddle around on some other areas, we might see them in a bit, but I'm getting really into this idea of it being a very natural, borderline foresty kind of feel, so I thought we'd have a look at this front area since it's the main hurdle in my mind of us being a very natural island. It got very straight lines and stuff, which I love, but we can have something that looks a bit more natural rather than just a plain path. So I'm going to start off by just clearing all of this away. I've already got a bit of an issue going on with my pocket space in this game and my storage in the house, so I'm very much looking forward to the next storage upgrade. I so desperately need it. In order to do that, though, I'm going to have to buy some turnips. Oh, you guys know how unnecessarily stressed I've been about that. Hello, Gonte. I'm so sorry. I have to take away the flowers that you're studying there. But yeah, so we're going to have to be brave and just go in. Obviously, I'm going to request that all of you keep an eye on your turnip prices. And if anyone has any really good ones, then drop down in the Discord and I can fly on over and be relieved. I actually already have enough money to do the next storage upgrade of the house, but I feel like since we have so much of it, it would be silly to spend it all and not invest it in the turnips, But that will mean spending rather a lot on turnips to get a good return. A few of you were putting in recommendations of good amounts to spend, and there's a very sensible amount that we could do that would get us good little returns on a regular basis. And I think that'll be excellent for when we're slightly further along on the island, but I am more tempted to be brave and do at least 200,000 bells so that we can get a little bit more moving on. To be honest, we could even potentially do more than that if we promise to work together as a team. But I don't want to go crazy, I just want to have the freedom to put stuff away now. There's going to be lots of these noises today. At least it's not cliff smashing though, my goodness. We can add that to the list of things that are way too loud. Although the repetitiveness of it, if that's the right way to say that, is quite soothing actually, but maybe just a little too loud. What's not too loud though is this 3 a.m. music. It's that... It's such a silly little sound. Like the game is reminding you that it's a little bit mad to be awake at 3 a.m. I remember back in the day when this came out and I would stay up all night into the early hours of the morning, sometimes not sleeping at all, and you'd hear this song, and it was a song to go to bed. There wasn't much else to do in those days, obviously, other than play Animal Crossing. I do want to have a think about how we're going to transition to the beaches a bit. I do tend to leave those things till last. Do you do the same thing? And then you've got to try and figure out how to have a reasonable transition. There we go. So this will be kind of symmetrical but not symmetrical, and then we're going to have to think about how this is going to connect to over this way. Oh. I need to check actually and see if there's any of the recipes that I'm missing. I suppose it is now the end of the month. Oh, yeah, we'll take the money, thanks. I just wanted to go over and grab some fully grown holly bushes just so we could see a bit more what it actually looks like when we put it down. I'm forever stealing fully grown things from other bits of the island. Also, a warning to you all, there's areas of the island that have gotten a little chaotic. The flowers section in the middle, because it's been snowing so much and I've been going backwards and forwards to move a few houses around, they've gotten way out of control. Maybe we'll stop and have a laugh at them later. The good news is a bunch of hybrids have grown as a result, so we're starting to make progress on them. I think now we've got blue hyacinths, which we won't use for this time of year, but I don't know, maybe at Christmas or something. When is the right time of year for blue hyacinths? I don't know. Okay, very simple, very simple. I did change over that fence, you see, to the barbed wire one, which might be a bit extreme, but it does make it feel more foresty. One thing I've been doing that I've really liked is just putting these kind of wobbly bits of path just between where all the weeds are in the areas where I haven't unfortunately gone and picked them all away. And it gives you this cool kind of natural worn bits of earth, which I like. Is that too much of a circle? I don't know. Let's just think about how this is going to lead up. Oh. I think there's probably going to be a fair bit of fiddling for you today. But if I keep the chatting down, then it will just be like a nice soothing thing you can pop on in the background. Apologies to all of you who enjoy watching my videos first thing on a Sunday morning, because we didn't quite manage it that early today. And it's probably going to take a fair amount of time, unfortunately, for the videos to render and get added onto YouTube. I have a very slow internet connection apparently, and it's now becoming a bit of an unbearable process to add them on. That looks okay, I think. Okay, we're making huge progress. And then I think what we'll do is still have a little sitting area here, which can develop over time. We can turn it into something else if we like, but I just like having my little intro area. I think that will eventually move to another area of the island, and then we'll make this all just a bit of a scenic thing. But for now, it works here. We won't complain. I'm sad to say the house is probably going to have to move forward again for the 20th time in this game. Oh, do you know what? I don't like that isn't symmetrical. And we could easily fix that, couldn't we? Should we just nudge this all along one? That could be good actually, because it's going to help lead to resident services a bit more. And actually that too wide bit there will be coming off of the airport, which will work quite nicely, I think. Okay, yeah. And this is an easy fix. The only thing with using the paths like this is because it's the same type of path, I obviously can't put them too close to each other. Which in a way is good, I suppose, because it's going to force me to keep it a bit more open than if we were using like custom paths or something for this. Yeah, I feel much more comfortable with this. Let's round them off now. Oh, and we do obviously have important things to discuss today. See, I can't put another one there because then it's going to connect it, and I don't think I want to do that here yet. But yeah, obviously, you all spotted. We hit 500 subscribers, guys. Congratulations to us. God, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Firstly, it's mad that 500 people are enjoying just coming on and hanging out with me and playing our little game, which is really cool. But in terms of technical things, obviously to YouTube, that means we now become, quote unquote, a YouTube partner. And to be transparent with you, so you all know what this means really, in case you're not making content or too aware of it. It basically means that it's unlocked things like the possibility of doing memberships, and if we were live streaming, we could do super chats and things like that. But I don't like the idea of, you know, monetizing anything at the moment. I certainly don't want to put anything behind a paywall for you guys. I feel like, you know, you've all been incredible, and I think everyone deserves to see everything at the moment. So I don't think there's going to be any members only action for a long time. We'll have to have a think of ways that you guys would want to be involved when we eventually get round to doing stuff like that. But I'm in no rush. That was the wrong place. There's no things like ad revenue and stuff like that yet. That comes much later, 1,000 subscribers, so I guess that becomes our next target. But hopefully our videos aren't going to be interrupted by ads now. I'm pretty sure they won't be. If you do start spotting them popping up, then let me know and I'll have a look and see if there's a way we can get rid of them, because we don't need them yet. But I fear that might just be YouTube enforcing these things on us. I like how that bit of path actually leads up to that bit that we'd already thought would be a walkthrough. So that's very good. Anyway, that's the serious technical side. Instead, what we should all be doing is just celebrating the fact that this is going so well for us and we're all enjoying being here. So thank you again. Thank you to all of you 500 times over, and now possibly 509 times over, because some more of you have joined along the way. I'm having a great time with this. And actually, it's helping me stay focused on what I want to do on the island and keeping with it. I'm sure I probably would have restarted again at some point if it hadn't been for you guys watching and encouraging me. You're always saying how it helps you to be a bit more chill about your islands and not worry so much, and it's very much doing the same thing for me as well. Let's all support each other. Stop stressing about our islands and all that. Just make a mess of them and have a play, you know. Okay. Oh, do you know what? I was thinking, I was playing with an area up here. Now you get to see what's been going on this side. Yeah, I was fiddling around with a little design, but I've left a whole bunch of items up here. So, yeah, you can see I've moved around a bunch of the houses. I was fiddling, but nothing feels quite right. I did like what was going on up here. I wanted better access to our secret beach, so I started, I moved someone's house up here. I think it's just Olivia's. And then I figured we could have a windy path that would lead down to our secret beach here, which I've just opened up. I'm really enjoying how open it is, but I did have to terraform away that whole bit of land on the side, which was terrifying. Terrifying terraforming. So I've now got to figure out how we're going to get the rivers back in. But I feel like it was necessary, you know, and I feel better for it. We're just going to be nudging everything around it now to figure it out. I had actually tried just here to move in a bunch of the houses. Because it's so close to the river there, I couldn't really fit in more trees and it was starting to look a bit strange. So my plan actually for the front here is to move that section behind with the tree stump into that gap there where that other straight road is, and then condense it all and free up some more space behind it. Right, so this is all the stuff I have here. I don't know if I want to use all of this because it's only a small area. Anyway, this bit will change over time. I just want somewhere to sit and wave to you at the start of the video. Yeah, bear with me while I have a fiddle and take things too far and then pull them back again. Oh, I tell you what, I've so been enjoying the little flurries of snow, the dusting of snow at the moment in the game. I actually really like the look of the islands when they're covered in snow, so I know we'll get frustrated with it eventually, but it's good to see a change, you know. I had a whole chat about snow in that video that I ended up deleting, where I attempted to do this, in fact, but just in a different style the other day. I do have a few experiences with snow in my life. One in particular, I think the first being when I was very young in South Africa. My parents drove us up to the Drakensberg Mountains, I think it was. I was very young. This is not from memory so much. This is from stories that I've been told. But apparently they wanted to show us snow for the first time. I'm convinced it was actually just because my dad had to work. I do vaguely remember actually it being around Christmas time, because I distinctly recall being afraid that Santa wasn't going to be able to find us while we were away. Oh my gosh! Wait, okay, a tarantula. Wait, they can go on the plaza. Okay, let's do our best to get this, then we'll come back to the snow stories, I promise. Right. Bear with me, this takes focus, doesn't it? Oh, tension. I thought I could hear a balloon then as well, so let's just have a double check for it. But yes, so we went up to the Drakensberg Mountains, although I recall nothing of it other than the Santa fear. And my mother has always told us since that our lips went blue, and I think we were just totally unprepared for snow. It's not something we had commonly where we were in South Africa. Only high up in the mountains, I guess. Since then, I've had a few more experiences that luckily I can actually remember, which is nice. I'm pretty sure I talked about this one I'm about to go into in the deleted video, but if it wasn't and it was in another one, then apologies, you're going to have to hear it again. I do have a tendency to repeat myself, so get ready for all that. Just want to nudge this back and see if this is any better. I don't want it to be too crowded. I think it's too much stuff. Anyway, yes, so my other snow story comes from Spain, in my Camino de Santiago's. I've mentioned them before, but if you're new here or if you don't know, it's a big walk that you do across Spain. It's actually a religious pilgrimage, but I'm not religious. I did it for the experience. But on this particular occasion, I'd done the full walk. Oh, what is it, 800 kilometres or whatever. I don't know distances. That's not a thing I'm clued in on. Oh, how full our pockets are. But yes, I'd done this full walk, and I'd done it towards the end of autumn. And then it was going into winter, and I decided I was just going to turn around and walk back. There is a few people who I'd seen along the way doing a backwards walk, as it were. That's a nice Frightened Rabbit reference. We can talk about Frightened Rabbit another time. But yeah, so I turned around and started walking back, and it turned into a bit of an event. I got to a point in the walk where you have to walk up a mountain, which is difficult enough when it's the right time of year to do it, but doing it in a snowstorm, which is what happened, was a bit ridiculous of me. I remember leaving one morning and it was thick. It was the thickest snow I've ever seen in my life. I've got some photos actually. I'll have to have a look and see if I can find them and post them on the Discord for you. Oh, look cosy with the fire for our story. So yes, I left one day and I decided I was going to walk up this mountain, get to the other side, and realised quite how silly I was being partway through, and actually ended up just following a main road up this mountain because I figured it was the safest thing to do in this mad snowstorm where I couldn't really see anything. It was just a wall of white in front of me. And thinking about it, all the cars coming down the hill, how unsafe for them. It's just this silly pilgrim. Oh dear. There were no crashes though, it was very lucky. Very lucky. And I got to the top of the mountain and decided obviously I was done for the day and I was going to stop in this fantastic cosy coffee shop that had a big fireplace and stuff. Got there and there was a whole bunch of news crews filming, because apparently it was the worst storm that this area had seen in years. So dramatic, in fact, that they'd sent the news out to report on it. And I'm just there, strolling around in the midst of all of it. It's actually a really beautiful area. If you know the walk, you'll know O Sobrero, which is the name of the place. It's not even like a town or a village. I don't know what to call it. It's just a collection of old buildings with fantastic viewpoints at the top of this mountain/hill. I don't know. I've spent many an occasion sitting on a particular table there with friends looking out at the views. There's a bit where you can sit on a wall, then there's a big dramatic drop in front of you, and we all like to take pictures of our feet dangling off the end. Absolutely the maddest snow I've ever seen. There was one bit where you couldn't even get into the cafe because I think was it called Snowdrift or something, where it had built up so high, where it had been blown against the edge of this building and the doorway, that it had blocked it. I did think we could move that campsite sign to over here. Let's just have a look. Oh, well, that's not great, is it? I love this item, but I'm not sure about having the campsite side of it on display. Actually, sometimes I just prefer to see the back of it, so it's almost like the, what's it called by resident services? The notice board. Let's have a look at it the other way round. There we go. Okay. Yeah, okay. For now, it's fine. I'm not even really thinking about what I'm putting in this area. I just know that I want something there. And then the house will probably move just next to it as well. One day I'll be able to customise it to look like a little log cabin. And it could be like a welcome centre for the island. That's what we could do with it. My snow story does actually continue from there as well. So after my evening of rest in this snowy town, I decided I was going to keep on going and go down the mountain on the other side. That's where I got the really great snowy photos that were just white. Like some kind of contemporary art. It's just a white image. But yeah, so I went strolling down this, and on the other side I went through this area. It's like a stopping area, and there's nothing particularly special about it other than, you know, a couple of picnic tables and then this wooden bit on the floor that I stepped onto and promptly fell over onto my bottom. Well, I say bottom, but in reality, and this is, you know, probably a bit gross for some of you, but I fell and realised I'd fallen with my leg underneath my bum. So, in what was possibly some of the most terrifying moments of my life, I just lay there and got the panic under control, and then waited until I was brave enough to see whether I could move my leg. I'm laughing, but it was quite a scary moment. And I did eventually realise I was fine. I was probably just a bit shocked and a bit upset. But I did get up and then decided I was going to have to walk, obviously, to the next town. There wasn't too many people doing the walk at this time of year. Oh, another balloon. Oh, this is going to mess with our pocket space, isn't it? But yes, so I got myself up and I hobbled along to the next town. I later worked it out, and I think it was something like a plastic pool. What are we going to use that for right now? It's such a cute item, but how are we ever going to get that to work here? We have to wait till summertime. We can sell that. Do you know what? We should really just dump a lot of these items on the beach. I'm just going to have to accept that things are going to be messy until we can do the house upgrade. But yeah, so I ended up walking another 5 kilometres to get to a little town. And I went into this cafe, and there was a chap who was working there. It was probably quite early in the morning. And I'd never stopped in this town before. It wasn't a popular one for people to frequent. It was probably just a passing through kind of place. And I asked the guy for some help, and I don't think he understood me or understood what was going on. Poor guy. I ended up probably just bawling my eyes out in front of him because I was so just tired and cold and stressed, you know. And I did actually eventually meet a chap there who was a local, and he drove me to quite a large town nearby. I can't remember its name now. Logroño. Which every time I've been there has been having a wild party. Something about that place. They have these fiestas all the time, and everyone is having a great time. The Spanish do know how to party, I will say that. They do consume the wine, you know. But yeah, I ended up going, and at the time the UK had these, because obviously we have the NHS, we have the best, most wonderful healthcare system. We're so lucky. And through that, at the time, you used to be able to get medical attention in the EU if we had this particular card, and it was free. So I sent myself off to this hospital and got checked, and I was absolutely fine. They just gave me some advice on, you know, chilling it and things like that and helping it recover. I probably just pulled a tendon or something like that. Except it turns out that this card that I had expired. And I ended up having to pay a few £100 to Spain for looking after me, which is fine, you know. It could have been a lot worse. I know a lot of your countries don't have cheap healthcare. It can be horrific. So I'm thinking all of this behind us, we're just going to move forward. We're going to replicate it here. So this bit will be a kind of subconscious moving, hopefully. But yeah, that was in fact the last time that I did a Camino. I do need to go back again one day. I think that was my 8th trip by that point, and after all of that I was ready for a break, you know. They were so nice in that town, Logroño. I explained to them, most of the places you're staying, they're run by volunteers, and I'd explained to them what had happened. And they're usually quite strict because you're, you know, getting discounted accommodation, that you have to move along quite quickly to the next place and free up the beds. But they were quite happy for me to stay there for a few days, actually. Gave myself some time to recover. And then, obviously, I decided for my body the best thing to do was to go home and give myself proper rest. I learnt that lesson on my first Camino. I did some very silly things indeed. First time I walked it, after we'd gone over this big Pyrenees mountain thing that you have to cover right at the start of it, I suddenly felt like I could do anything. I think a lot of people have that same feeling. But let's just try and replicate this properly. But I recall on my second day when I was feeling great, even though I was wearing big, chunky walking boots, I decided I was just going to run. I was in a great mood, and I was like darting along and hopping over rocks and all kinds of things, and then immediately gave myself tendinitis, which is nasty business, and I still have creaky ankles as a result of it. And the proper way to treat it is to rest and to not walk and give yourself a very long time to heal. But I had another 800 kilometres or so to walk. I didn't know things about looking after my body at the time, so I just kept on going. And gosh, the silly things that we do, huh? It's all, I've been telling you quite dramatic stories about my Camino, but there's a lot of them that are very, very lovely, actually. There's a reason I did it so many times, you know. You become a bit addicted to the lifestyle out there. Okay. I think this is working out well, actually. I like how it's going to connect on the right to resident services. And then we'll fiddle around with this area and see if we can make it look a bit more intentional. Not just stuff we've left lying around, you know. Let's just have a quick look. And then we can just chop this one down. Is that in the same place? Oh, it doesn't matter too much. It doesn't matter really. Oh, I don't have an axe. Hang on. I have to do some crafting. There is one lovely element of the walk, actually, that I'll drop in since you've had some quite dramatic ones that might put you off. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to encourage you all to go and do it. There's an idea with this walk that you would carry a stone with you. So you would arrive with your stone, and the stone represented your burdens. And then there's a point of the walk where you come to where there's this huge post. I want to say a post. I don't think it's a cross. It might be a cross. It might be a cross. I don't know. But I recall it being a post. And you reach this point, which is quite a fair way in. Sorry, my crafting noise is so loud. You reach this point, and then you take a moment and you leave the stone there. And at this point, there is this huge hill of stones. It's absolutely enormous. And you climb up them and you get to the post and you drop your stone down and you leave your worries and your burdens behind and continue your walk refreshed. Some of them are lovely. People have painted on them and written little messages, or, you know, done just bits of paper and taped them in. And there's all kinds of interesting things left there. You could spend a whole day just having a look through them and seeing what you can find. I used to do little drawings along the route. I had a little watercolour set and pen and ink thing, G-nib if you want to be specific about it, if you're into that sort of thing. And I used to do these little drawings, little paintings I suppose, along the way. And I did one of that. It was not my best one, but good memories. I'll have to see if I can find any of them to show you as well. I'm pretty sure I did one of the buildings in Osabrero, the place with all the snow. Oh yes, hardwood. I'm still so short of hardwood. I think it's because we've been making so many shovels as they've been breaking along the way. Let's just move this all forward. Oh yeah. It's actually kind of cute with the little grass behind it, isn't it? Okay, I'm feeling good about this. On that particular walk as well, I think I ended up paying for a lot of the accommodation based on selling some of these little drawings. I did some postcards and people liked them and asked to buy them. And I was like, well, yeah, okay, let's do this for a bit. So I do recall going into a cafe. Here, I need some fruit, so I'm just going to hop over to a Cap'n Island. Should we sit through his whole song as well? Oh yeah, we forgot about this. He'll sort it out for us though. But yeah, I went to this cafe and they saw the drawings and they ended up buying a whole bunch of them. And as is the way, I think, if you're a person who makes art, you never know what to charge for these things, do you? Should we just enjoy the song for a second, then I'll come back to the story. I still have so much trouble doing anything in time with this music. Reach for your dreams. Good advice, Captain. Don't cry about dreams that don't come true today. Sometimes you need to try another way. Good advice, Captain. Good advice. All right, let's head on through. I like it because it looks like I've spotted the island in the distance. Yeah, that was very on point actually for what I was... Oh, wait a minute. Are those money trees? You guys, we got Money Tree Island. Okay, let's get shaken. Also, I must remember to get some fruit, but I wonder what recipe would be on this. Okay, I presume, yeah, we've got 50,000 bells. Let's have a look and see. Oh yeah, it's only 1,000 bells on each tree, not 10,000. Not what I'm used to. Somebody said in the comments you could actually reliably plant 30,000 bells in the trees and it would still grow. So let's put that to the test at some point, shall we? But yes, anyway, I just want to check the rocks just in case they're special too. I'm not too familiar with this island. But yeah, this cafe, I wanted to buy a bunch of the drawings to display on their walls, and if you're kind of arty, you'll understand. Trying to work out what to price things at is just a nightmare. It's a nightmare. If you don't have a lot of self-confidence, it's even more terrifying. And I had a friend on the walk who sat with me and helped me work out what I should be asking for the paintings. That was good. That bought me a few more days' accommodation and food. Gosh, we had a lovely meal that day as well in their restaurant. Apologies to anyone who doesn't have the forest wall recipe yet, because I'm just going to drop it here. Okay, I'm remembering to get the fruit. That's why we actually came here. That reminds me, actually, I did like a little abstract digital thing, drawing, I guess, painting, I don't know. Just shapes and stuff with specific colour choices. And I got to the end of it and realised it reminded me of an Animal Crossing villager. And I like the idea of doing some more of these. That would be a nice idea if we ever did merch. So you'd be able to buy prints of these drawings based on the different villages. No, it's not a special rock. It's finding the time for all of these things now, I suppose. If I was being an efficient content creator, I would be looking at all these different ways that we could expand on our little world that we're making. But mostly I find I just want to play the game. Oh, okay. We'll make another one of them in a second. But yeah, at the moment I'm making a lot of videos, aren't I? We'll have to see how sustainable that is, really. It might be we have to cut back the videos to 2 or 3 a week, and then it'll allow us to do some other stuff alongside it. Who knows? Who knows? It's all just ideas at the moment, isn't it? Oh yes, more hardwood. But I did like the idea of these drawings. Just who has time for things like this now, you know? How many creative outlets do I need, really? Let's decimate this island. I've been quite enjoying my cosy real-world evenings, actually. My other half does a podcast, and usually when he draws the thumbnails for them himself, and it'll take him a good few hours. And usually while he's doing that, I'll come work on my thumbnails, and we're like a little thumbnail team. And it makes for some lovely cosy evenings. You guys, I've done it. I've made the proper shovel. I couldn't resist it. I saw the iron and thought we absolutely had to now. There's probably more I can do on this island, but I've got what I came for. Let's head on back. Should we listen to his song on the way back? Give my voice a break. It's getting more gravelly and husky by the day. I'll press all the buttons as well. It's madness. Not my best remix, I think. Oh, I love this. Sometimes men do blubber. Take it from me. I know how I cried just last night. Sad TV show. Sad TV show. Too cute. Oh, I cry at TV shows all the time. All the time. Oh, there was a great show. Both my other half and I were bawling our eyes out at this. Tell me if you saw this show. I can't remember too much about it, but it was a chap who played, I think it was Warhammer Online. And we're talking about this too much in videos, but he had some form of illness, I can't remember, and he passed away. And it was all about his online community coming together and kind of celebrating his life. And it broke me. It absolutely broke me. And we were both just weeping, like openly and out of control. I want to swap this over with different things. I can't remember what it was called because it would have been a great thing to recommend to you. I don't think I want that to go sideways next to it. We can just keep it open. But yeah, great watch. Really great watch. Was it Warhammer Online? No, no, it was World of Warcraft is what it was. /dance. Wow. Was its acronym. Back in the golden age of MMOs. I did play Warhammer Online, if you never had the experience. Actually, I think they ended up re-releasing it as like a classic thing, so you can go back and play it, but my gosh, that was a great game. There was like a kind of team PvP capture the flag sort of thing that you could do, and I spent far too long. Yeah, I think it looks good with that fence. It's the right feel. But yeah, we used to go on and play capture the flag, which was great. I do recall you had a bar at the bottom where you had all your spells or your weapons and stuff like that. And just the controls, compared to something like this that is so simple and easy for everyone to use, it was the most complicated system, that game. That was one of the really cool things about that documentary, is people were role-playing, obviously. They'd made their characters and they would sit in bars in the game and role-play characters and interactions with each other, and they developed proper friendships and things, you know. So many games have tried to create a good environment to do things like that. But it has so many challenges now, doesn't it? To be able to do that and create authentic feelings. And obviously the keeping people safe while they're doing it is a whole other thing. Oh, what was that game? You will all have played this. What was it called? Oh, was it like... that can't be the right name. But it might get me in trouble for saying it. But was it called like catfishing or something like that? Where you had like... It was literally fishing and you were cats. Do you remember this? It wasn't that long ago it came out, but it was so cute. Oh my gosh. It's so insanely cute. That was a real viral moment for a game, wasn't it? Just cute noises and fishing. It was obviously like heavily Animal Crossing influenced. I think you could get a guitar as well, couldn't you? And you could play very simple like MIDI songs through the guitar. So you'd have people who would just play things they'd found online like they were musicians in the game. And you could all meow. You probably all remember this much better than me. I got a bit worried with that game after there was some people messing around on it, wasn't there? And I got a bit worried that they were doing weird stuff to my computer. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, look, that transition. I've been noticing this more and more in these videos, is where I say words that I don't intend to say, and a lot of times I don't catch myself doing it, so I sound very strange talking back. Okay, so this needs to change, doesn't it, to mirror back there. Time to start clearing up, I think. I did like the idea in the comments of my mispronunciation of stuff, like the barbed fire whence. We'd make it catchphrases for villages. Yeah, if you spot anything silly idea that we should make catchphrases, do post it in the comments, because I can never think of anything in the moment, you know. You guys will be much better at that than me. Do you know what? Actually, I just remembered that cat game, the fishing game. You would catch these fish, and some of them were like massive. And I say massive, I mean it. Like they were the size of the whole island. You'd have to like zoom out to see this thing that was so unrealistically huge. And this was one of the things that gave that game so much charm. Yeah, bizarre. Even though everyone assumed it was going to be an Animal Crossing rip-off, it totally had its own special charm. This is going to be a lot of fiddling and clearing up, isn't it? Here, I'm going to have to do that thing where I'm digging all kinds of holes to measure stuff out. Okay. Oh, I'm starting to get hungry now, guys. We've reached that part of the video where I should really stop and eat. I spent a considerable amount of time last night learning about peri-peri sauce, or peri-peri, depending on how you prefer to pronounce it. I've already always said peri-peri. It's really, like, it has a really interesting history. I remember it being around a lot when I was a kid in South Africa, and I found out why. It's because it's a fusion of Portuguese and African cultures. It's apparently the African bird's eye chili is what's traditionally used. Oh, it's the change of the hour. What song will be next? Our Dumpy song will be leaving. What's it gonna be? Oh, it sounds chill. It sounds chill. I think we're right. Oh, that's cool. I especially like with the wintry jingle because of the snow. Oh, I can hear a balloon again. I'm starting to resent these balloons while I have no storage. There it is. I'm always tempted to leave the presents where they land because they just look so cool. What's this? Tan men. Oh, it does look delicious. Oh God, I'm so hungry. But yeah, we were watching this guy who grows his own chilies, and then he was giving you a recipe of how to make your own peri-peri sauce. And when I say grows his own chilies, he had like a greenhouse, like a massive greenhouse full of chilies. It's totally unreal. A normal person couldn't do that. We have the most incredible Portuguese restaurant near us that does like a proper char-grilled peri-peri chicken. Oh, have I talked about this before? I don't know. But yeah, I quite regularly dream of that chicken. Nom, nom, nom. And they'll do it as a burrito as well. Oh, gosh. Everything in a wrap is better, isn't it, really? Let's have more wraps in life. Hopefully my microphone isn't picking up the grumbling of my tummy, which is what's happening. How lovely is this song? Whenever I giggle quiet, it's never the interesting bit. And then as soon as I start talking, oh my gosh, if I can even talk, that's when you get the cool jingly bits. Yes, so now I'm on the hunt for the perfect peri-peri sauce. The internet seems to believe that this is just a Nando sauce. But I refuse to believe it, you know. I do like a good homemade sauce. We used to make a really cool like gochujang, which is a Korean chili paste. We used to make a really good gochujang sauce. If you've ever had Korean fried chicken, and you get it with like a spicy red sauce on it sometimes, and that's a gochujang sauce, and it's the good stuff. I used to put a lot of honey and a bit of, what did I put in it really? Lemon juice maybe, or something? Maybe lime. Delicious stuff. And then just drizzle it over chips as well. I'm not the healthiest person, you may have noticed. One thing I always loved the idea of, I was staying with a woman in Kent once, and she made her own salad dressing all the time. That's where I learned that mustard is an excellent emulsifier for salad dressing, meaning it will help everything mix together, you know, and not separate into its parts. Gosh, and her salad dressing was just fire. So good. Do you know what else is incredible that I need to tell you about right now? In case you haven't experienced it. Let's just get this other balloon. Where is some? Oh, we're gonna have to drop something. We'll eat this. So much pressure. Oh no. Okay, what is this? Something that's going to take up pocket space? Yes. Okay. Yes, so something you have to try. You have to, if you've never tried this. Oh my gosh. So, in my travels, I spent a bit of time in Japan as well, as you do. A wonderful place. You all know this. And when I was there, I used to be able to get these kind of little bags of cabbage just in the supermarkets. And I used to get that as like a little salad thing to eat. And they'd have little bags of salad dressing that you get, just single portions of things, you know. Simple stuff. It's not quite the ramen that everyone's going there for, but, you know, for your day-to-day snacking. And one of these salad dressings I picked up was a toasted sesame dressing. You guys. If you've never had Kewpie's toasted sesame dressing, brace yourselves. You will eat salad every day for the rest of your life. It's so good. It's so good. I don't understand why it's not a staple in every country in the world. We now fortunately have a lot of, particularly in the area I'm living in, there's a lot of Korean supermarkets where you can buy some really cool stuff. And one of the things they have is these huge tubs of this Kewpie dressing. It's something like 2 litres of this stuff that you can buy. It's crazy. And it costs about, 15 English pounds, which is a lot of money for a salad dressing. But we buy it. Every time, and it's usually we'll eat it all in like a month, just everything we eat has a bit of cucumber on the side with a bit of this dressing on. Oh, honestly, feel free to rave about it in the comments if you've ever had it, because you know how good it is. just wanted to shake that before we cut it. I don't want to have to deal with wasps things right now. I do find the idea of salad dressing really fascinating. It must be like different ingredients for different cultures as well. Although there's like, you think of it as a standard, you know, you've got your sweet and your sour and the same elements that you add, you know. Every country has their own version of what they regularly have as their sour or their sweet or spicy. What's your favourite salad dressing? I want some more recommendations for mine. I do love a very mustard heavy dressing, you know. Oh, just anything with like vinegar as well. Just tons of vinegar. It's not good for me, obviously, but... Oh, do you know what I got really into once? This is just turning into hours of me talking about food, but I'm sure you're okay with that. In this place in Kent that I was staying, there was another quite young, very hippie couple, very cool, who was staying there just before me, and they were leaving as I was going in. And they used to go out into the forest and collect mushrooms, and then they cook them and we'd eat them. They knew how to identify mushrooms, so it was safe. And in this particular area where we were, there was a lot of, I think, mushrooms called chicken of the woods, for the exact reason that it closely resembles chicken with the texture and stuff. And they used to make, this delicious dish with it that they used like a honey mustard sauce. Gosh, honey mustard, you guys. That's one of the ultimate combinations. Is that another balloon? Oh my goodness, they're coming thick and fast. Whenever I'm looking for balloons, they never seem to appear. The best thing to do, I think, if you're trying to get all the recipes, the DIYs for a season, is just do some building outside. Elephant pants, how very, that reminds me of travelling in Thailand when I was very young. Everyone had the elephant pants, didn't they? This is just for me. I have to make a mental note that the supermarkets close early today. I'm going to have to go shopping. Go before I get distracted into making thumbnails for hours. Too much stuff, gosh. That's the biggest struggle in this game, I think. The storage battle, that's really what drives forward momentum for Animal Crossing. Without that, I'd be so chill right now, but instead I really feel the urge to expand. I'm feeling okay with this, you know. I think this is going along really nicely. And then we're going to have this big area back here as well. Oh, this is so much better. I do think it's interesting how it's taken, what now, like 4 or 5 iterations working on this front bit of the island. And even now, I'd say I'm not like 100% calling it finished and happy, but to get to a point where I'm okay with it, it's taken me adjusting it that many times. I've been finding as well, even if it's not the area that I want something to be, if you have an idea of items you want together or a design, just to pop it down somewhere, and then as you're going along with the rest of it, you'll be like, oh, that will fit in here, and then nudging it along to there. Do you know what I bought in the supermarket for the first time this year? Mince pies. our Christmas speciality. Do you all have mince pies in your countries? And when I say mince pies, I mean, so this is hard to describe if you don't know. So it's like a fruit mince. So you have things like raisins and, you know, all this delicious stuff in this really sweet, tiny little pie. I live for mince pies. I live for them. And they have ones in the supermarket now. They have like a crumble topping to add even more sugar to the experience. But it's not Christmas without a mince pie. And I realise we're not even into December and I'm already buying them, which means I've got a full month of eating these super sweet and lovely things before they'll start to disappear again. Funnily enough, when I was in Japan, I was in quite not a remote area, just not a huge town. I ended up travelling back to Kyoto, I think it was Kyoto, for Christmas, just so that I could get mince pies, because I knew they had one of like the importing shops there that would have them. I went and bought these, I think it was like Walkers, a brand you would never have if you were from the UK. You would look at them and be like, that's not a real mince pie. But I travelled so far and I bought so many of them. You guys, I had packs and packs of these things. And then I remember for Christmas Day, where was I? What town was it actually? I can't remember, but I was in like a big place, a big tourist place, and I was staying in a hostel, and there was an Australian mum and daughter there, and they would go out there every Christmas, or at least very frequently, maybe not Christmas, other times of year, but they would always go together. And for their Christmas dinner, they managed to get hold of a KFC, which is like a thing there, apparently, for Christmas Day. I don't know whether we're just told this because of marketing, or whether it's because people don't have huge kitchens to do a whole roast dinner in. But the idea is that you would pre-order your KFC and then eat that as your Christmas din-dins. And they shared a bit of their KFC with me, and I gave them mince pies, and they were not very impressed. It's an acquired taste, apparently, a mince pie. Because I had so many of them, I did give them out around the hostel, but I'm pretty sure no one enjoyed them. But I did. Oh, I've got to start thinking about the Christmas dinner soon. I do like to just have a quiet Christmas dinner with my other half at home. He's very close with his mum, so he will go and visit her before and stuff. But I'm one of these that will very much back a, what would you call it, a friend mass, where you spend the time with friends rather than a complicated family day, which is what you have to do sometimes, you understand, just to make it through with as little trouble as possible, you know. You guys, I'm going to make such a mess of these speeches. Apologies for the state of the videos coming over the next week. I have been a bit fiddly on the island, haven't I? So a lot of areas are just very full of trees. I'll have to do my best just to keep organising things so it doesn't feel too chaotic, you know. But we must embrace the change, not fear it. This is also a sign that I need to gift my villagers, you know. Oh, that reminds me, in fact, I was thinking after Turkey Day, where we kind of missed it because life, you know, it gets in the way of things. I was considering popping my Switch forward a day or two, just so we'd get, so you guys would be able to like watch on the day that something happens, you know, even if it's just like chill Sunday videos, you know, but you get to actually watch them first thing on a Sunday, which is maybe when you're likely to be playing the game. So feel free to give me official permission, though I don't need it, but it's whether you think it's a good idea or not. And then obviously things like Toy Day and New Year's Eve we'll get to experience on the day, if not slightly before, when we're still in the mood for it. That could be a good thing to do. Obviously working in retail means that times around then will start to get a little chaotic, and we're going to need the time to chill out. That's a bit too standard, isn't it? Really, I just want to get an idea of where to put the house here, so just putting the shape down is going to help us figure it out, but we'll work out a transition there that's going to lead down to the beach too. And that will be when all of this will change. We just need a temporary home. Okay, if we nudge it along one, and then we'll have a look. I'm going to need another home for my gyroids as well. Poor guys have just been buried anywhere on the island. That's probably a better idea of an overall shape that we can work from. And it'll give us space to put something on the transition to the beach. It's still a lot of stuff just next to each other, you know. I do want more areas that are just open with trees and stumps and things like that, but where is this balloon that I can hear? Oh, I don't know. We've got plenty of balloons today anyway. So what I'm thinking I might do is actually just move the house over, just so that you'll be able to see, just in a minute or two, a very short ending of what this actually looked like. So I'll give you a little wave for now, and then we'll do our sign off in the next bit while we're having a stroll around. See you in a mo. As if by magic, we are in the future. Welcome back. But yes, anyway, if you've made it this far, then thank you so much for watching, sticking with it through our little island journey. I think this is coming along swimmingly. I'm glad we're sticking with the island, you know, working on it. I think we're achieving great things. Oh, hello, Bam. Oh, that's a bit... Bam, it's not quite the right vibe. Shocked. But thank you. We are grateful. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. So thank you for watching again. And oh, look. Yeah, now we've got this huge area to do something exciting. And next we're going to have to nudge villager houses about. But yeah, I'm sure I'll see you again very, very soon. I've got to clear up all the mess on the island now. But Wish me luck for our turnips this week, and good luck to you as well. Oh, we need to work on this bit too. So many possibilities, but it's good that we're not feeling overwhelmed. We're just doing it as we go, and it's working out great. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you next time then, I guess. Right. See you later. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye.